Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I'm bringing you 3 games from War Thunder featuring the Wellington Mk III. Now I have shortened these games so we're not starting, from the start of the game, but these 3 games are just to show you the amount of rage that this plane has induced on me. It seems that every time I fly this thing on a ground strike map, I get shot down. I don't know if it's because in later tiers, fighters, actually decide to go after bombers, or this plane just can't take any hits at all. It seems to go down with 1 shot or 2 shots. The Mark III is better than the Mark IC, I suppose, because it has better gunners. It has more cannons, more turrets, especially on the back. It has 4 turrets. But to be honest, they don't make a blind bit of difference. The reason they don't make a difference is because you get shot down so fast because for some reason your midriff and your wings are made out of paper. My gunners are terrible. Not because I haven't upgraded them. They are very well upgraded. They have even got the expert rank on them. But for some reason, the fighters that come and attack me completely decimate me in a matter of seconds, so they can't even get enough shots off. Now I don't know if it's my fighting style or if I'm just not getting high enough in the clouds to stay away from fighters, but it seems like planes like the Air Cobra, the BF-109E, they come after me. As we see in this clip, I'm doing my bombing run. I'm at a very high altitude. I see this plane and I think, no, it's turned away from me. It's that my ally there is hopefully going to hold him off. Unfortunately, I was completely wrong. And this fighter comes straight at me. And I thought, oh, this is the first game of the day. That's okay. I'll let my gunners deal with him. I won't manually control them because of the 4 turrets on the back. First of all, something flies off my plane. I have no idea what it is. And then, in a matter of seconds, my midriff snaps in half. That is infuriating. When you look at something like the B-25 from the Americans, it can take tons of bullets, and your turrets, well, they do really well, basically, compared to mine. So this is the second game. It's another ground strike map. It's just at the start, and this was about the 3rd or 4th game I played. I had a decent game last round, basically because I was surrounded by other bombers, and luckily the fighters went after them instead of me. So as you can see, I'm just trying to gain some altitude, trying to stay away from the fighters. And I don't know what it is, but maybe it was my team, or maybe it was just my negligence, but I had no fighter support ever when I'm flying this thing. And when I'm playing as a fighter, I try and protect my bombers because they win the game at the end of the day unless you decide to go after ground strikes, or just be a selfish asshole and go after other fighters and just try and get some XP, which is useless if you lose the bloody game. So as we can see, I'm just setting up the targets, seeing what I should go for, which is completely fine. On this map, it seems like there is a line of artillery that you can go after. So usually I try and target that. Now there is a plane up there, but it is a bomber. So I believe it's going to leave me alone, which is good. I mean, I will show you a game actually, probably later on today, that shows when a bomber fights a bomber, and it is quite hilarious when you have your auto turrets fighting each other. This Wellington is basically exactly the same as the Mark I, except that it is a tier higher, which means that you have harder fighters against you, more fighters have more cannons, and they will rip you apart. There is no noticeable difference between this bomber than the first model, except for the turrets on the back, where right on the back, near the rudder, the gunner has 4 turrets instead of 2, so supposedly he should be able to do more damage. Supposedly is a good word to use, because in my honest opinion, while playing it, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. Because as you just saw in that last battle, I got cut in half very, very fast, and my gunners, well, they didn't have enough time to do some decent damage to the fighters. Now this may be because the fighters are very well armed, which is fine, I don't mind that. I mean, bombers aren't supposed to be... They're not supposed to take tons of shells, they're not supposed to take tons of bullets. They are designed for bombing. But I don't know what it is with this bomber. I haven't had this issue with any other bomber, except for this one, where I've just struggled with it, because every time I get some decent kills, some decent bombing runs, there are always planes coming after me. And as you can see here, I've got my first load of bombs off. I'm checking around to make sure the enemy is nowhere near me. There are a few planes near me, but I'm not too fussed, because as you can see, my fighters are engaging them, and hopefully they can hold them off. I will say the Wellington Mk III is still good, though, after all of this, because when you look at it, it is a lot like the Mark I, and with the 4,000 pound bomb it can do a lot of damage, especially to stationary ground targets. The fact that you can take out 4 artillery positions with one bomb is just beautiful to me. It means that you can focus on one area and then move to the next. At the moment I'm using 10 by 250 kilo bombs, which are good, but I still prefer the 4,000 pound bomb just because it's easier to use, and then you can focus more on the fighters who come after you. So I have a look around. I need to set up for my next bombing run. A fighter has disappeared and I have no idea where he's gone, but because I'm in the clouds, I believe that his visibility will, well, it will be a lot smaller and won't be able to see me. This is the hope. Now, as I'm lining up, what happened there? My wings come off. I don't know how. I think I maybe took one shot there. Maybe he just aimed really well. Why didn't my gunners fire? I was just perplexed. I was wondering what happened. Right, so this is the last game. It's another ground strike map. Usually I don't fly bombers on domination maps, and as you can see, I've barely just started and I'm getting absolutely torn apart by a Spitfire. But I'm hoping, because my gunners are well upgraded, that they can deal with it. As we can see, we deal with that Spitfire. That is the first plane out of about 10 games that my gunners have been able to fight off. But still, I'm heavily damaged. Once again, I'm getting shot. Now, that was quite interesting. I saw a fighter in my scope, which isn't always great. And now I've lost control. It's as simple as that. And there's not much you can do when most of your plane is black. So I go into a spin. I'm trying to pull out of it this whole time, but as I'm doing it, I'm still getting peppered by enemy fighters. Now, wouldn't it be nice if I had some fighter support? Yes, it would. Where is it? It's not there. As you can see, everything is red, because my fighters are too bothered about fighting in a gully for no reason. So, as these fighters pick me apart, there is one guy trying to help me out there, but he's against 4 other guys. And it's just turmoil. I can't do anything in this position. I'm trying to pull up desperately. I thought the fact that because my wings aren't black, I could do something, and my rudder isn't fully black, so maybe I could stabilize. Unfortunately, I was wrong. My bombs do come back, but there's no point in even trying to line up a bombing run because I can't do anything. I'm still trying to pull out of this spin, and as you can see, there are 5 fighters above me trying to kill me. So I just let loose my bombs. Hopefully I hit something, because I know I'm away from my allied tanks and artillery. I don't get lucky, and a bow fighter finishes me off. Frustration is what I'm feeling. Frustration.